Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's beautiful outside, so go out and get in some sun. My name is Sadia. I am the president of the InterRecruit organization. We're currently based in the United States of America, and we work with student athletes all over the world, and we help them find scholarship to go to college. InterRecruit was created in 2015, right after college. We had the idea of finding student athletes that have the talent, right, that have the opportunity to use their talent to get their education paid for. So that's the main reason behind InterRecruit. And since then, we have been blessed to work with a lot of student athletes all over the world, but mostly from Africa. Myself, I'm from Togo, West Africa, and I think it's just the right thing to do to go back and find the talent, because we do have hidden talent in Africa, and that's our goal, that's our mission, to find those kids that nobody have seen perform, those kids that have so much talent that they can use that to pay for their education if their parent cannot afford to do so for them, right? So that's our mission, and we love that mission. We live for that mission, and we strive for that mission. So today we decided to launch this channel, or some people may call it a podcast, whatever works. So we decided to launch this podcast to really tackle the issue of student athletes not having the right information for them to take the right step towards their education, or not even knowing when to start from, right? So that's what this channel is going to be for. That's what this podcast, if you can put it that way, is going to be tackling those issues, right? And just to make sure I have everything in order, I made a list. So if I want to start, what's InterRecruit? InterRecruit, we are an organization, and like I was saying before, we help student athletes find scholarship. And the way we support them is we guide them. Once they have the scholarship, we tell them all the paperwork they need to send to the school. We tell them how they need to prep all the different tests or exams, if you can put it that way as well, they need to take for them to stand out and be able to get a scholarship that they're looking for. We guide them through that, all the paperwork that needs to be evaluated or that needs to be translated. We walk them through all those steps, and the end is where we have that beautiful news that they were able to get a full scholarship or even a partial scholarship. Because I want to make sure that we know not all the players are getting a full scholarship, right? And some of them are getting a partial scholarship, which is fine, because you can still work on campus, or you can have family members, you can have sponsors help you or support you towards that goal of paying your tuition as well. So I was making sure I'm not losing my train of thought there. So that's what we're going to be talking about, how we support mostly student athletes get a scholarship and come over. And also, one thing that we're going to be talking about today, or on this channel, is the goal of the channel, right? The goal of the channel is to tackle those issues, like I was saying earlier, to tackle those issues where there's a misinformation or there's a lack of information, if you can put it that way. I was in Africa. I was back home to visit family, and I used the opportunity to host two tournaments, one in Ghana and one in Togo. And I was really shocked to know that a lot of athletes, let me put it that way, don't even know there's an opportunity for them to get a scholarship and go to college, right? And they're full of talent, but they don't know that. They don't know where do I start from? What kind of paper do I need to submit? Or where do I go from here? So that's why we come in and we support them. But the main goal of this podcast, I hope it really helps people find the answers they're looking for, because I have a lot of people reaching out to me on social media requesting a lot of information, and I don't have time to talk to everybody. I don't have time to get back to everybody, which is normal, because I have a full-time job and I'm a human being. I have other activities that I need to be doing. So I don't have enough time to tackle all that. So I'm like, wait, why don't we put on this channel, because we do have a lot of videos on this channel. I'm like, why don't we put on this channel more information where these athletes can subscribe, they can have access to that, and when they're ready to take it to the next step, then we're gonna come in. It will be easy process, and that will make things easier, right? And on top of that, all these athletes will have all the information that they need, right? So one thing I would say, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that all the videos we'll be releasing will be available to you, right, as soon as possible. So through this channel, we're going to tackle a lot of things, right? And I wrote a few things down so I don't forget. So we're going to talk about that throughout the whole, I don't know how many videos we'll be releasing, but throughout that, we'll make sure we tackle all that. So we're going to talk a little bit to parents. How do you set up your child for success if you discover that they have a talent in a sport that they're playing? If they love that sport, how can you support them so they can use that talent to get their education paid for? So we'll be talking to parents as well, because I believe the success of a child starts with the parents. If the parent is absent, the kid might strive on their own, but they're going to get to a point where they will need that parental support. And if that's not there, the kids will go backward. So parent, how you can support your child, right, to take it to the next step. And the next topic we'll be talking about will be also players, on how players can set up themselves for success as well. If you have a parent that's supporting you, how you as a player, you can take it to the next level. So we're going to be talking about that as well, and we're going to give you guys tips and tricks on how, if we take tennis for example, how you can improve your ranking, right? Because if you're not ranked, schools don't want to have you on their roster because they don't know if you have that match play experience. When they throw you out there on a game day, what are you going to do? Are you going to be nervous? Have you played tough games before where you know how to jump back when you're down a set and be able to win that point for your team? So coaches are looking for players that have experience, meaning players that are playing a lot of tournament. So on this channel, we'll be talking a little bit about that, how we can support you guys as well, and how we can really guide you through those paths and things like that, right? And the next topic we're going to be talking about is, if you're a player, a student athlete, and you want to go to college, right? Because you have two routes. You can go to college. Actually, you have three routes. You might be playing just for fun. You're playing to go to college, or you want to play to become a professional. Let's say you're playing to go to college to get a scholarship. How do you start? How soon do you need to start prepping for? Because one thing I'm seeing is that players wait until they graduate from high school, after they finish their exams. That's when they want to start. That's late. You want to start a year prior to that. You want to reach out to schools. You want to reach out to us so we can help you find schools, find scholarships. There's a lot of things to do. So we're going to tackle these issues one by one. And again, these are not the only issues. If there's anything you want us to talk about, just leave it in the comments, and my team and I will make sure we tackle that for you as well. And then now we're also going to talk about the step after college, right? After scholarship, or no, let me go back. Steps after scholarship. When you get a scholarship, what do you do next? Hopefully, when you start prepping early, as soon as you get a scholarship, you know what's next. What's next is to get your appointment for the visa to go get your F1 visa. F1 is for a student visa to come to the States. Now we're gonna talk about that as well, because one thing we're seeing now, we're seeing embassies refusing visas to a lot of student athletes that have scholarships, or students don't even they can't find an appointment to get their visa. So they're missing school because of that, which is not normal, because things like that should be easy, right? We should really have a team supporting these student athletes, schools, or federations, minister of sports, things like that. We need them to come together and support these athletes when they have a really good scholarship to come and study. And once you're here, what are the steps? We're also going to bring on this platform current players that have a scholarship, and they need to tell us how they're navigating through life. Again, remember, once you come here, it's a different life. Everything is different. I remember when I came in 2010, I had a culture shock, right? Even the way I was dressing, the way you're talking, there's a lot of things I was doing that people were thinking that's weird, but for me it was normal, because I was coming from a different country. The culture was different. The food is different. The way of life is different. Everything is different, right? So I'm going to invite current players that are currently on teams or going to school to tell us how they feel about that, the culture shock, how they're adjusting, and how they're taking the next step, right? And also, I have some players that finished college, how they're adjusting, how they're integrating themselves in life. We'll have the opportunity to discuss all those topics. So when you're prepping, or when you're reaching out to us to help you find a scholarship, you know what's next. You know how to prep. You know if you need a sponsor to help you pay for your tuition. You know, hey, I need to play more tournaments so I can bring up my ranking, so I can get more chances of getting a full ride, right? Or you know, hey, I need to start prepping for my SAT test, or my TOEFL test, or even my Duolingo test. There's a lot of topics that we're going to be discussing here on the InterRecruit channel. So if you have friends that are in a sport, they want to come and play college, this is the platform you want to be on. Connect yourself. Make sure um, you subscribe so you get the video as soon as we release them. And then one thing also, I have players that are going pro after college. I do have one player that came on a scholarship. He finished college. He's now on a pro tour. So hopefully we can get him on the panel. He can tell us what he's doing. And one thing I'm also going to be doing, I'm going to be bringing here coaches, college coaches, so that they can support us. They can give us the tricks, things that they're looking out for, how they recruit their players, things that they're looking to recruit a player. So you guys have, well, we're doing this so you guys have firsthand information on how to prep, how to stand out, how the school can be like, this is my pick, this is the player that we want, right? So that's why we're starting this channel here. I hope we do a good job. So we bring you a lot of information, good information, so that will really help you prep wherever you are in the world, right? Again, I cannot reach out to everybody else. I have a busy life. So hopefully this channel really does it for you, or really answers all the questions. If you want us to discuss a topic, don't forget, drop it in the comment section, and we can also bring that up and discuss it as well. Okay, let me see. I think that's it. Yeah, I think those are all the topics that we're looking forward to discussing on this channel. Again, share. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Okay, have a wonderful day. It's beautiful outside. Make sure you stay active. You put the right food in your body as an athlete, because you need that to perform. And we're going to see you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.